Ladies and gentlemen, there is a truth that is often overlooked in the noise of our daily lives. Love is not something we have. Love is something we happen, something that moves through us, beyond us, and sometimes through another. And when a woman loves you, she does not merely offer affection or attention, she offers something far deeper, a quiet revolution within your own soul. The depth of her love is beyond logic. Today we gather to reflect on something that defies reason and transcends all understanding: the depth of her love. It is a love that cannot be fully captured in words or dissected by logic. It moves beyond simple explanation, beyond rationality, beyond anything that can be defined by the limitations of our minds. This love, so powerful and profound, lives in a realm that is as boundless as the human heart itself. Consider the way her love touches lives, the way it finds a path through every struggle, every challenge, every obstacle placed before it. Hers is a love that flourishes even in adversity, perhaps especially in adversity, for it is in those times that we often see her true strength. A love like this does not shrink or weaken. When tested, it grows stronger, shines brighter, becomes more resilient. It bends but never breaks. It's a constant, unwavering force that seeks to lift others even when it may cost her everything. It is a love that holds others up when they can't stand on their own, that gives when there's nothing left to give, that somehow finds a way when every path seems blocked. This love is not bound by conditions or expectations. It isn't dependent on reciprocation or appreciation. It exists purely to nurture, to uplift, to give without asking for anything in return. Imagine the strength required to love so completely, so selflessly. It is the kind of love that brings light into the darkest of places, that offers warmth when the world feels cold and unforgiving. There is no manual or guide that can teach this kind of love. It is a gift, a blessing, something rare and pure. And the beauty of it lies in its quiet resilience, its willingness to endure without needing validation or recognition. Some may ask, why would anyone choose to love this way? Why would someone open their heart so fully, knowing the risks, the vulnerability, the potential for hurt? But her love doesn't operate on logic or calculation. It is rooted in something much deeper. This love is a choice made every day, a commitment that goes beyond fleeting emotions or temporary desires. It is a decision to put others before herself, to stand by those she cares about through every storm, through every joy and sorrow, through every triumph and failure. Her love teaches us that there is power in vulnerability, that there is strength in softness. In a world that often celebrates toughness, her love stands as a testament to the idea that kindness, empathy, and understanding are not signs of weakness, they are profound strengths. Her love is a reminder that we are not meant to walk this life alone, that we are here to support each other, to lift each other up, to be a source of light in each other's lives. And it teaches us that true love is not afraid to feel deeply, to care without restraint, to give until there's nothing left. This depth of love reminds us that sometimes the most meaningful things in life are not meant to be understood, but to be felt, to be experienced, to be treasured. It is a love that surpasses all measure, all reason, all definition. It is not bound by time, nor does it fade with distance. It is eternal, infinite, a legacy that lives on in the hearts of those who are fortunate enough to receive it. This is the depth of her love, a love that is indeed beyond logic. The vulnerability of love. Love is a word that holds immense power. It is a force that transforms us, lifts us, and gives life a deeper meaning. But love is also vulnerable. It's delicate and fragile. And when we truly open ourselves to it, we expose the deepest parts of our hearts, making ourselves susceptible to pain, disappointment, and even loss. Yet it is within this vulnerability that we find the truest essence of love. It is in the willingness to be vulnerable that love gains its strength, its depth, and its depth, and its beauty. To love is to embrace the unknown, to walk into a space where certainty and control are left behind. Many of us crave control, security, and guarantees in life. We want to know what the future holds, to shield ourselves from potential heartbreak, to build walls around our hearts in the hopes that we can avoid being hurt. But love asks us to surrender these defenses. Love calls us to step forward, to release the need for certainty, and to trust in the unknown. There is a beautiful strength in this surrender, for when we let go of control, we open the door to the miraculous, allowing love to grow and thrive in ways we could never predict. True love requires courage. It takes courage to stand before another person and say, "This is me, with all my flaws, my fears, my dreams, and my insecurities." It's easy to present a perfect facade, to show only the parts of ourselves that we believe are lovable or impressive. But love asks for authenticity. Love asks us to strip away the masks, to let another person see us as we truly are. This is not easy, it can feel terrifying, but it is also liberating. In allowing ourselves to be seen, we create a space for genuine connection. And when someone accepts us in our truest form, that love becomes a profound source of strength and comfort. And so love challenges us. It challenges us to grow, to expand, to become better versions of ourselves. Love is not stagnant, it is not content to remain unchanged. It pushes us to confront our fears, to face our insecurities, and to rise above them. It calls us to become more compassionate, more forgiving, more understanding. In loving others, we are also given the chance to learn how to love ourselves. For how can we offer love if we do not first embrace our own worthiness? When we understand that we are deserving of love, we become better equipped to give it, to nurture it, and to sustain it. At the heart of love's vulnerability is the reality of loss. Love is precious precisely because it is fleeting. We do not know how long we will have the people we cherish in our lives. Time is unpredictable, and love asks us to make the most of every moment. To love is to accept that loss is a part of the journey, to understand that the fear of losing someone is simply the other side of the coin of cherishing them deeply. This awareness doesn't diminish the value of love, it heightens it. It reminds us to be present, to appreciate, and to hold those we love close, knowing that every moment is a gift. And when we look at love in this way, we realize that its vulnerability is not a weakness, but a testament to its profound strength. For it is easy to shut down, to guard ourselves, to live a life devoid of connection, to avoid being hurt. But to love despite the risks, to open ourselves to the possibility of pain, to embrace the unknown, this is true courage. This is strength. The strength to love, even knowing we could lose it, is what makes us fully human. It is what allows us to experience the heights of joy, the depth of connection, and the richness of life. So let us not be afraid of love's vulnerability. Let us embrace it, let us honor it, and let us celebrate it. For in our willingness to love, we find the courage to truly live. And that is a gift beyond measure. Love is an invitation to growth. Love is often thought of as a warm, gentle feeling of comfort, a security that nestles in our hearts. But love at its core is not simply about comfort or happiness. It is a force, a transformative power that invites us to grow. Love in its truest form is not static. It is dynamic, challenging, and sometimes uncomfortable. When we engage with love, we are opening ourselves to an invitation to become something greater, to evolve, to stretch our hearts and minds, and to discover the depths of our own capacities. In the process of loving and being loved, we are brought face to face with parts of ourselves we may have overlooked or even denied. Love has a way of reflecting back to us who we truly are, both in our strengths and in our vulnerabilities. It is in this reflection that we see the potential for growth. When we love someone deeply, we start to see the world through their eyes, to understand their dreams, their fears, and their passions. and in doing so we begin to expand our own perspectives. We move beyond the limits of our own experience, recognizing that the world is much bigger and more diverse than we once thought. This expansion is not just intellectual, it is deeply transformative, reaching down to the core of who we are. True love requires courage because it invites us to face the unknown. When we love, we are stepping into a space where we are vulnerable, where we risk our comfort and sometimes even our pride. But it is in that vulnerability that the beauty of growth lies. In love, we are asked to let go of control, to allow someone else to impact us, to shape us, and to challenge us. This is not always easy. There are moments in love when we are confronted with our own fears, insecurities, and doubts. We may feel the impulse to pull back, to retreat to what feels safe. But love calls us forward, gently yet persistently, to step into a fuller version of ourselves. In the context of relationships, love is a journey. It is not a destination or a static state of being. Love asks us to continuously engage, to listen, to forgive, and to give. It asks us to be patient and understanding, to choose kindness even in difficult moments. This process of giving and receiving, of forgiving and healing, fosters growth on a deep level. We start to realize that love is not just about what we receive from another person, it is about what we give, what we sacrifice, and how we rise to meet challenges. Every moment of love, every act of kindness is an opportunity for growth. Moreover, love is a mirror reflecting our truest selves. When we love, we see ourselves more clearly, both the parts we cherish and the parts we may struggle with. We are called to confront our flaws, to recognize the places where we still need to grow. Love encourages us to be honest, to be vulnerable, and to embrace our imperfections. It is not a process of shaming or judging ourselves, but rather an invitation to see ourselves with compassion and a desire to improve. This is one of love's greatest gifts, the ability to see ourselves through a lens of acceptance while also being inspired to become better. Love also teaches us the importance of resilience. Relationships, whether romantic, familial, or platonic, are rarely smooth and easy all the time. They require us to work through misunderstandings, to weather the storms of life together, and to remain committed even when things are tough. Through these experiences, we grow stronger, we learn patience, and we develop a deeper sense of empathy. Love invites us to stay present, to remain steadfast, and to hold on to hope, even in challenging times. This resilience is a testament to the power of love as a force for growth. It is in these moments of perseverance that we become the best versions of ourselves. In loving others, we also learn to love ourselves. Love teaches us that we are worthy, that we are valuable, and that we are deserving of kindness and respect. As we grow in love, we begin to recognize our own worth, to appreciate our strengths, and to nurture our dreams. This self-love is not selfish or arrogant, it is a necessary foundation for all other relationships. When we love ourselves, we are able to love others more fully, without fear or hesitation. We are able to give freely, to forgive easily, and to embrace the journey of growth with an open heart. Love, in its purest form, is an invitation to transcend our limitations. It asks us to rise above our fears, to let go of our insecurities, and to embrace the unknown. Love is not afraid of change, in fact, it thrives on it. Love asks us to be brave, to take risks, and to believe in the possibility of something greater. It is an invitation to step into the fullness of who we are, to embrace our potential, and to become a force for good in the world. So let us embrace love as a journey of growth. Let us welcome its challenges, its joys, and its wisdom. Let us allow love to shape us, to inspire us, and to lead us to a place of greater understanding and compassion. For in love we find not only the essence of who we are, but also the limitless potential of who we can become. The presence of love is in the smallest things. Imagine for a moment a world in which love is expressed only in grand gestures, a world where love is showcased only in monumental words and extraordinary actions. Think of how limiting, how distant, and how rare such love would feel. The truth, my friends, is that real love, profound and lasting love, is present in the smallest, most unassuming moments of our lives. The presence of love is not only in the powerful expressions, it lies in the tiniest acts, the things that often go unnoticed, and the simple gestures that seem insignificant but carry immense meaning. Love exists not in the grandiosity of our lives, but in the warmth of the everyday. Love, real love, shows itself in the simplicity of a kind word, a gentle touch, or even a quiet presence. It's in those subtle actions, the ones we sometimes overlook. It's the way we check on a friend without expecting anything in return, or the way we listen to someone with our full attention, making them feel truly seen and heard. In these quiet acts, love is vibrant. It lives in these moments, filling the spaces between words and wrapping around those in need. It's in a patient nod, an understanding smile, and the silent endurance we offer when someone close to us is facing difficulties. Each of these acts, small as they may seem, is a reminder that love is woven into the very fabric of our lives. In a world that often measures love by its magnitude, let us remember that love doesn't have to be grand to be impactful. Sometimes the simplest gestures can move hearts in ways that words cannot. Picture the parent who stays up late just to see their child come home safely, or the friend who remembers to check in on a special day, or even the stranger who offers a comforting smile in passing. Each of these moments may be fleeting, yet they carry the weight of something deeper, a recognition of another's humanity, a reminder that we are all connected. These moments show us that love isn't about size or scale. Rather, it's about presence, about seeing others and being seen, about small, persistent acts of kindness that keep us connected, even when the world feels vast and uncertain. I think of the impact these tiny actions can have on others. We may never know how much a simple gesture can mean to someone else, how it might soften the sharp edges of a difficult day, or offer hope in a moment of despair. When we let love flow into the smallest actions, we are planting seeds of comfort, hope, and healing. These are seeds that may grow unseen for a time, but one day they bloom in ways we could never anticipate. A quiet act of kindness, even if it seems insignificant, can become a memory, a beacon for someone who needs it the most. In every moment we extend love, no matter how small, we touch lives and transform hearts in ways we may never fully realize. And let us not forget that the smallest acts of love do not only transform those who receive them, they also transform us. When we act from a place of love, no matter how inconspicuous the act, we are changing ourselves from within. With each gesture, we align ourselves with something greater, something that goes beyond our own interests. We begin to see ourselves not just as individuals, but as part of something larger, something connected and whole. We understand that our lives are not about accumulating great deeds, but about the frequency of our love in every moment. Love in its smallest form refines us, reminding us of who we truly are, calling us back to our humanity. Ladies and gentlemen, may we all take a moment to appreciate the quiet, the subtle, and the small. May we recognize that the presence of love is not limited to any one grand act, but rather is a mosaic made of the tiniest gestures, woven into the everyday fabric of life. Love transforms you if you let it. Love is the most powerful force we have, yet it's often the most misunderstood. When we think of love, we often consider the romance, the feelings, or the connections we build with others. But love is more than a feeling. It's a transformative power, a force that can reshape who we are from the inside out, if only we allow it to work within us. Think about it. Love is the energy that allows us to look at others not for what they can do for us, but for who they truly are. It's the force that drives kindness, compassion, and understanding. When you let love in, when you truly open yourself to its impact, it doesn't just change your perspective, it changes your soul. It shifts your priorities, opens your heart, and empowers you to see beyond the flaws and imperfections that once held you back. Love invites you to become something greater than what you were yesterday, and it does so by transforming you at your core. The true power of love lies in its ability to dismantle the walls we've built around ourselves. Whether those walls are built from past hurts, insecurities, or fears, love has a way of breaking them down. This isn't an easy process, though. It can feel like standing exposed, vulnerable, and even afraid. But in that vulnerability lies the potential for real transformation. When we allow ourselves to feel love fully, we're no longer held back by what we fear. We become capable of embracing change, of moving beyond our comfort zones, and of growing into the versions of ourselves that we were meant to become. Imagine a world where we all loved deeply and selflessly. How many conflicts would dissolve? How many misunderstandings would be mended? How much more patience and empathy would flow between us? When we love, genuinely and deeply, we cultivate a resilience and courage that no other force can provide. Love equips us to face the hardest battles and to carry others through their own struggles, because when we have love, we know we're not alone. Love gives us a strength we didn't know we had. It enables us to reach out, to lift others up, and to create bonds that transcend differences, distances, and even hardships. When you let love transform you, you discover that it's not just about feeling happy or fulfilled. Love compels you to give, to share, and to serve. It's in the act of giving that we find our truest joy. Love transforms not just by filling us up, but by overflowing through us, impacting everyone we meet. We become vessels of peace, understanding, and kindness, leaving a ripple effect wherever we go. This is the essence of love's transformation. It takes the focus off ourselves and places it onto others. And in doing so, it brings out the very best in us. Each of us is called to love in a unique way. For some, it's through words of encouragement. For others, through acts of service, or simply by being present. When we embrace love's transformation, we begin to see that each moment, each interaction, is an opportunity to make a difference. The smallest acts of love, listening to a friend, offering a helping hand, showing compassion, these are what change the world. It is not always in grand gestures, but in the simple, consistent acts that love works its magic, turning ordinary moments into extraordinary expressions of connection and care. Allowing love to transform you means accepting the challenge to love, even when it's hard, even when it hurts. It means forgiving those who may not deserve it, showing kindness to those who may not return it, and extending grace to those who need it most. This isn't always easy. But when we choose to love in these ways, we free ourselves from bitterness, resentment, and anger. We step into a new way of being, one where we're no longer defined by what's happened to us, but by how we choose to respond. Love is a journey, not a destination. It's a continuous process of opening ourselves, of choosing to be vulnerable, and of trusting that even in our brokenness, we are enough. And in that journey, we find our true selves. We learn that love isn't about being perfect or having everything together. It's about being real, about showing up, and about giving of ourselves in ways that make a lasting impact. When love transforms you, you begin to live with intention, to speak with purpose, and to act with kindness. You see beauty in others and find strength in their uniqueness. You learn to cherish moments, to forgive freely, and to celebrate joy. And most importantly, you learn that every heart, including yours, has the capacity to be a source of light, a source of hope, and a source of change. So, let love transform you. Let it into your heart and allow it to work its wonders. Because when we are guided by love, There is nothing we cannot overcome, no obstacle too great, and no challenge too daunting. Love transforms, and if we let it, it will make us into the people we were always meant to be. So when a woman loves you, know this: it is not simply a gift to be received, but a call to become. It is an invitation to rise, to change, and to be present. And in those quiet moments when you least expect it, you will find that love is not a thing at all, but a way of being. It is the way of growth, the way of vulnerability, the way of presence. And if you are willing, it will transform you. Love, in the end, is not about possessing. It is about surrendering. Surrendering to the mystery, to the beauty, to the risk of being seen, and in return, becoming someone new. Thank you.